Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Frozen Frontier.
I never made this, did I?
Ooh, that looks
Oh
good,
my god.
Greg. All right, I'll never know.
Grand Marnier, what is it, Greg?
What is what? Sailor Jerry's Spice Crumb.
So classy.
Very good. Now the question is, yeah.
So we're resting overnight.
Yes.
Should William and I roll for HP really fast, do our level up stuff, and get that away? I think Grimes leveled 2, didn't he?
No, I leveled before the last.
Okay, and then Yarmir's just short.
Correct.
Okay.
We're all on 37,468.45, right? Apart from
Yes.
Yeah.
0.45, really?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, really.
Are you really? They carried the 0.05 last time. Are you really surprised by
that's
this?
7 significant figures on your
I told you I was going to 7 significant figures. I was not bullshitting pre-stream.
I thought you were joking.
No? No?
All right.
We've been doing it this whole time, Neal. If I roll more than a 4, do I wake back up?
No,
I mean, I know
your
the
HP
answer
goes
is
up
no, but
proportionately, and your negative AC doesn't change.
it's not going to stop me asking.
All right. Do what you
You
gotta
go first,
do.
Sean. You go
All
first.
right. There we go.
Oh.
I could do with a big roll this time.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I'll take it. I'll
Good
take
job,
it.
boys.
All right, we did it.
All right. So I don't think I actually gain any HP because I was too low to gain any.
It just goes proportionally. So if you were
Yeah, but so if I was at like 10% before and I'm at 10% now, I'm pretty sure I don't actually gain an HP.
right.
What's your max HP now?
You can maybe
I went
talk
from
Neal into giving you
39.
one.
Damn, 40.
39 plus 9. I'm at 48.
And I'm at 46. That is a lot of HP.
Yeah. So let me see here. 2 over 39 times 48.
So, what's the XP count?
still be at
I
2.
think you gave us XP off stream or something, and I actually didn't write it down.
So you will be at 37,468 and 45 hundredths XP.
One sec. Let me write that down in my trustworthy character sheet. And when yeah. All right. I'll need that.
All right.
All right. Sorry. 37.
37,468. And if you care, 45 hundredths.
37468.45.
Correctamundo.
How many sig figs will you go up to?
I will always, because I work in the tax world, I'll always go to 2 decimal points. So
I was going to say, this is 2 decimal places, not 7 significant figures. Like in this case, it's the same, but we're doing it to 2 decimal places.
yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Is I will carry 2 decimal points always.
Okay, so it's not really how many numbers total. It's just that's the precision that you're going for.
So can you ever get, unless Neal gives us fractional XP, if it's 10% of a whole number experience? I'm even confused how we got to 2 decimal
If
places.
something,
Because it gets divided by 4.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yep.
So 0.25. Okay, so it is possible to go to 3 decimal places.
But yeah, so we're resting overnight. Does a dragon come and freeze us alive?
Nope. It seems pretty content to disappear. Maybe it thinks you're dead. Maybe it just locked you in and took off angrily. But it's not about. Do you want to go outside looking for it?
I'll take a look outside, like a quick scan of the surrounding area, but I'm not going to go like significantly far out.
Give me a perception check.
That's a pass.
You don't see anything with the 21. It's pretty regular out there.
So where are we picking up? Is this like
We're gonna
skipping
pick
to
up
the
that
next
later. Yeah, we'll pick up the next day. It is a light day outside. Actually, I think that's even a calm day. It's another calm day out there.
Nice.
And here you are in Saltport Keep, sort of just waiting? What's your plan?
Well, I'm going to spend as much time as I can with William. Mechanically, there's no way to pick him up sooner, but like having a dragon show up makes Yarmir nervous. He knows he needs William alive if they're going to ever have any chance. So he's spending like probably double the time necessary to like medicine him each day. And then I'm probably gonna see is my snow golem like covered in red and bloody, or is it just like still pure white and?
Oh no, it's covered in blood. Absolutely.
Okay. So I'll probably take Cat outside at some point and like see if I can wash it, like get new snow on it, and like try to get rid of the red bloody snow, like get it back to nice and clean.
It does seem like you can replace the snow with other snow. Like
Awesome.
You push this snow in and kind of pull the snow out, and it works. You can kind of.
Okay. Yeah. So I probably do that for a while. I'll just like dig away the red snow, put white snow back in. And get Cat nice and clean. I'm gonna have to like find a way to communicate more thoroughly with Cat at some point. And then if I have more time beyond that, I want to start collecting as many of the bodies as I can to start collecting scalps for potential.
Yeah, I think narratively I need a description of what the keep looks like after a week or so of scalping and butchering, and
There's a little bit of that. I think at one point.
If it's up to me, I don't want to scalp them in the keep. I would prefer to just like scalp them in the field and then just carry the scalps with me.
Sure. Ferris probably has like a point set up where he normally like butcher, like he's probably butchered things at this keep before, right? So there's probably like even an area that's already like bloody and prepped for that.
Well,
kind of
question. I mean, I think before you were. I guess this was at the tavern. You were trying to do them indoors, and William stopped you. But William's now unconscious.
Yes.
So without Captain around, like, do you just create a throne of bones inside of the keep?
Oh, that sounds pretty cool, actually. I wasn't planning on that, but I think at Grimes' suggestion,
Grimes is I think on the upper floor is away from the bloodbath.
That might be a good idea, Grimes. I could. Ooh.
That was Ryan.
Right.
But no. So right
yeah.
now, Ferris does butcher some of the gnolls. He definitely butchers Manji. Manji is all he's going to be eating for the next couple of days.
Can I have Manji's bones?
Sure. There's enough to go around.
Well, I know you usually eat the flesh, but
Yes, Grimes had a fascinating suggestion
bones.
about building a throne out of the bones, and I honestly,
maybe
I
Grimes did make that as an offhand comment.
Yeah.
Before retreating to the upper floor.
But sure, it doesn't. I don't need to use Manji's bones for that. The other bones will do just fine.
I want to sort through Manji's bones and see if, especially since he was a spellcaster, right? See if any of them are more suited for my omen reading.
Ooh. What are you currently using for omen reading?
I think I'm currently using the same bones that were handed to me by my master upon completing the training, and they're made from animal. I think each of them are carved from like the femur, or like the largest bone from the representative animal for each of them. Right. And I think some of the exotic ones might not actually be, like, if there's like an elephant, I don't think that one's actually made from ivory, right, or from elephant bone. I think that's probably like been substituted with just kind of like a more common, like maybe it's like a cow femur or something.
Right. Okay. Have you seen the film Stardust?
You recommended it, and I put it on my list to watch, but haven't gotten to it.
There's a scene in there where they read the future by throwing bones and catching them in a bowl and everything. And I was wondering what your bones look like.
I imagine most of them are kind of smooth, and they're kind of like a little rectangle almost, but they're rounded. Like all of the edges are rounded. Mm-hmm. And inlaid on the bone is a like chiseled and like painted into the crevices inscription that runically depicts the symbol that it stands for, right? Like this one is elephant, this one is North Star, this one is whatever.
Right. Cool. So you can take Manji's bones, and you've got tools necessary to carve them into the runes that you need. It's not a problem. It can all be done.
Awesome. So yeah, that's probably something I can do during the evenings when it's when I've lost too much warmth to go outside and clean my golem and do all that, I can sit kind of in a kind of meditative trance and find the bones that still resonate with some power and begin whittling them into the tools I need.
It's going to take... Willem, you said you're at -4?
Yeah.
Because you have a healer on hand, you will just gain 1 HP every day, as long as you're being tended to. Without your healer, there would be a series of rolls to make, but Yarmir's presence here is literally life-saving.
So it's going to take me 4 days, all right?
Yeah. What do you guys...
There's like
the
rolls.
rest of us are gaining 2 HP a day during that time.
Yes.
One thing Ferris wants to do, I want to go out and see if I can find like 2. They don't need to be like polished, but smooth, like small black stones.
Okay.
And then whenever I find those, I want to look for something that could be like a substitute for a carrot.
Substitute for... I see what's going on here. What is a substitute for a carrot?
I'm not sure. We could do like wood and then swap it out later. Like really anything that could fit the general shape of what I'm looking for. We'll do as like it's a placeholder basically.
What about Monji's member?
I could use one of Monchi's bones if Yarmir has any spare after.
That is not what Nick was saying.
Oh, I see.
That's not what I was saying.
But on that, I know. But on that subject, I could use one of Monchi's bones. I'm not gonna do the. I'm not gonna do. This is a family-friendly stream here, Nick. Or at least we try.
Hey man, I'm just hitting that like those clips.
What was the spears tipped with? They were stone. Were they perhaps black, like obsidian stone?
They were
Or were
obsidian.
they obsidian?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe I actually get everything from that, and I have like eyes and nose made out of that material.
A spear for a nose.
Yeah, spearhead for a nose, and then I get like 2. I like break them apart and turn like 2 polished circular black stones, and I'll embed them into Cat's like upper third.
So the upper third is like still rotating all the time.
Yeah. So he has like a rotating face,
and like the face is just like rotating at odd angles,
like gyroing around.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ferris does that without consulting Yarmir. Probably while he's not around, and Yarmir just comes back at some point to find his snowman has a face.
Oh, how adorable! What are you guys gonna do?
Other than that, Ferris is super injured. He wants to rest.
Yeah, I think getting complete bed rest.
All right. Let us pass a few days then. First day.
Tell us how many days so that we can track.
4 days until William's up. Does
Right.
anything happen in that time?
We need to be able to track food, firewood, and health.
Yes.
I just need to roll a series of encounter checks.
Okay.
Alright, so
first day is uneventful.
Grimes is resting on the upper floors with the window view, or maybe occasionally patrolling onto the roof or something. So
where
keeping
am
a
I,
lookout.
Where am I being kept? Am I on the bloodbath with Sean at the bottom, or am I in like one of the top rooms?
If Grimes or Ferris deigns to move you, you'll be wherever they are. Otherwise, Yarmir's not strong enough to move you anywhere. He's just feeling you where you
Yeah.
are.
I'm just in that little room. Okay, at the base of the tower.
I think that's the safest
I think
place.
I think we leave you there. I guess maybe we bring you out to the main room every once in a while so you can warm up by the fire. But other than that, like we want you away so that if the dragon comes back, you can't just like breathe ice in.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
All right. So 4 days pass with no encounters whatsoever. Nothing comes near the fort, and you guys don't really leave the fort. It sounds like
2, 4, 6, 8. Dogs eat 2 or 1.
1 each.
One between the two of them. They do.
There's only one dog.
Oh wait, it's
There's
2
only one
normally
dog
per
left.
person, so 2 between the 2 of them. So 2 dogs are basically a 5th person.
But there's only one dog.
Yeah.
There's only 1 dog, so he does 2 days, I guess, technically.
So do I wake up then at the start of the 4th day, or do I 5th day?
Somewhere, probably in the morning of the 5th day, on the 17th of May.
Okay.
You sort of rouse.
So,
Okay, wait, hang on.
how many
So I've
HP for the rest of us? It's 2 a day times 4 is
Yeah.
8.
Yes, sir.
So I've been having a nice continued dream of being back home. I've been dreaming of being back in Sulwick and my wife and kids having a fun. My wife's in the kitchen making game pie. The kids are running around playing with spinning tops and braiding each other's hair, or whatever it is kids did back then. And I'm slowly start to awaken and my eyes flutter open to see maybe Yaramir tending my wounds, or maybe I'm alone
I think you are having this nice dream, and then you see wild, crazy-eyed Yaromir like hunched over you with like needle and thread. Like,
So immediately I sort of recall as to what happens, and I look around and see the stone, and I instinctively raise my hands to, because Yaromir's in my face, and I see like all the, I don't know, the bandaged, where I've been bit by the dogs and stabbed by null spears. And I guess like maybe I just flutter back into unconsciousness for a while until a few hours later, maybe I'll croak out like, "Whoa, what happened? Are we alive?"
You sir got jumped by a direwolf. It was comical, I have heard, but I did not see it myself.
The gnolls, are they all dead?
Enough of them.
Are we all still here?
Yes, we are.
Good. And
You got to sleep through meeting your dragon a second time. I think it was looking for you.
The dragon was here.
Yes. It was quite eventful.
What happened?
It tried to freeze us out, but then we hide in stairway and it go away after a while.
It wanted us dead. It didn't want to talk.
I believe Grimes attempted to speak to it, but between you and me, I think he only speaks Null. I don't think he actually speaks Draconic.
Yeah. Why would he? When? How long have I been out? When are we expecting the ship?
Oh, a few days. I do not know. I think you were the one keeping track of ship coming and going.
I think I let that knowledge slip in the middle of the battle. Well, I hope that Sleet isn't around when Zaz turns up.
That would be bad indeed, yes.
How much food do we have left?
Oh, we have about 300 pounds.
More than that, Ferris says, kind of like walking down the hall, and he's like stirring up a stew that he's made for breakfast with a
Don't
couple.
eat anything Ferris gives you.
Has he been cooking all the nulls?
What do you think?
Yeah. The last thing I remember is looking over to him during the battle and seeing blood and flesh dripping from his jowls.
Yes.
Has he returned to some semblance of normalcy?
I mean, is Ferris ever normal?
No. Well, whatever constitutes normal for an elf.
It seems to be, yes. More like our usual traveling companion. Less, I want to bite your throat.
Look, thank you for the bandages.
No problem.
And I guess I'll pass back out after that.
Another day passes uneventfully.
Right, 2 HP today.
Sightings of creatures anywhere. No sightings of sails or ships on the sea. Grimes, this has been a hell of an encounter. You know, a bunch of gnolls. You almost died. That pink gnoll leader.
I was actually pretty close.
You were pretty
I think
close.
we all almost died.
Yeah.
Yeah, pink gnoll leader almost got you a few times, and your captain ran out recklessly and got wrecked. And,
Yeah.
And then a dragon showed up, and now Ferris is like making stews and picking his
Yeah.
teeth with
I might need to
bones
have a word with William about that reckless charge.
What-
So I think
Go for
So I think
it.
once Grimes realizes William is up, he'll come back downstairs.
So I hear
Oh.
footsteps and
Go
open
back
my
to the
eyes.
land of the living.
I'll scoot myself up against the wall
If
and try and
the-
sit up.
If you don't have your sword back yet, I'll like hand it over or nudge it over to you. Pick that out of the snow for you.
Thank you. I take the sheath and like lay it across my lap. I look around and say, we all survived.
No thanks to you. Well, certainly helped during the battle, but listen,
I don't
part of being a sword master is knowing when to sheathe the damn thing.
I don't even remember what happened.
You jumped off a first-story window off a first-story ledge into the snow and went off chasing down a direwolf.
My last memory
What the
is
hell did you think was gonna happen?
I must have been overcome by rage. The last thing I remember is
You
is
and Ferris both. Bloodlust got to you.
Yeah. Well, that's the last thing I remember is blood dripping from his mouth. I looked over in the fray and saw it, and I don't know. I don't remember anything after that. Did Manji? Did we kill him?
I got him.
Good. Did he have anything useful on him?
Nothing of value. Ferris has recycled him for parts.
I
give a shudder.
my head.
I look around. Actually, can I get a description of this room at this point? Like, I think I've been avoiding it. Like, I've been avoiding the lower floors because they've turned into a bloodbath. Maybe.
I think maybe my room's okay. It's the main
Yeah,
room.
no, Ferris probably takes him to like a different area so he doesn't bloody up the place that we all
The
live
side room is okay, but is
Yeah,
The place is
you're
already
fine.
bloodied from the combat that was in
in. Yeah,
there.
but
and the
it's not
people
like
that
getting
died.
worse, right? And we can probably clean that bit up, right? Like Ferris is not turning into a butcher's room.
Yeah.
He found another place to do that.
I suppose our intentions of befriending the Gnolls were ill-advised.
Yeah. Well,
Did you translate what I said the same, or
I sit down. Did my best. I don't know that it transcended cultures in the same way we had hoped.
we had no reason to expect this attack, right?
I think they took our words as boasts, as a threat.
Well,
In any case, it's done now.
our words weren't empty. They have died. They should have listened. I
Yeah.
hope that Zaz turns up soon. I'm not sure how safe we are here.
Yeah. Well, as long as she shows up before Sleet comes back again.
Yeah, I heard about that. Has the dragon been back since it left, or?
No sign.
I hope that it's not here when the ship arrives, because that could spell disaster. Well, have you taken command of the other two while I've been out, or have they?
I've stayed out of their way. I didn't. I
You're
take
a-
a shudder.
You're a prisoner, Grimes, but you're probably the most trustworthy here, at least in terms of maintaining my interests. And in such a situation, I'd hope that you'd keep my best interests at heart.
You said it. You saw the look in Ferris's eye during the bloodbath.
Yeah, he's
You want me to put him in check? Tell him not to. No way. I'm not getting between him and his lunch meat.
he's more beast than man at times.
You need to stay alive for all of our sakes, William. I hope this close call will teach you a lesson.
Well,
No offense meant, Captain.
well, look, if anything happens though, if I do fall in battle, you have to go back and report to the keep, to the fort, and make sure that my family's informed of what happened.
I can promise you that much. I'll get word back of your noble suicide charge if that's how it ends. But
Well, I don't remember what happened, but I'll take your words of caution to heed. I'll heed them. Maybe it's best to stay back once the battle's won.
A ghostly voice tickles the back of your mind, and it's like, so you will listen to Grimes' advice about caution. I see how it is. I see.
William, how much of this trust for Grimes is the fact that he's the only person from Drekis? Jaromir is a foreigner from Matava and from Mistria a little bit, and Ferris is definitely a foreigner from...
So
I'm from Drekis.
You're a half, you're a foreigner.
There's an element of that, but there's the fact that I feel like William understands Grimes' motivations. Like, he makes some decisions in his life that William wouldn't have made, but he's used to dealing with people like that, and he understands how he thinks. Whereas Yaromir's motivations are completely unknown to William, and he doesn't really understand why he does what he does. Like, he doesn't understand why he went out into the snow and did that. Doesn't make any sense to him. And Faris is the same. Like, he just finds it difficult to understand how this guy's thinking and what his goals are for being here. So Grimes seems like the most easily trusted, just in the, at least I can see where he's coming from.
predictable, at least.
Yeah, predictable. And also, there's nothing to steal here, so the fact that you're a thief doesn't really weigh into the equation too much.
Yeah, tell me about it. Thief with no loot.
Yeah.
What sort of campaign did I sign up for?
The most valuable thing here is the scalps. I do not know why you are not taking them.
So I guess I'll start after this conversation sort of pieces out. I hold a hand up to Grimes and say, "Help me to my feet." And I'll.
In the hand. Yarmir probably removed your armor and stuff, right? So,
Yeah, I would have had to bind him up. The direwolf messed him up pretty good.
Yeah. So I get cautiously to my feet and start wandering through the keep. And are all the windows still frozen over?
most of them probably.
Yeah, I don't think they would have melted from anything.
Nope.
So I
never
thought
mind.
You probably
the first one. Like, what happened?
Sleet encased us in a tomb of ice.
You probably
I
walk
probably
out.
bashed out a couple of them, so we've got view points. But I would imagine I only several.
Yeah.
Maybe
think
one
it was-
or four or something,
Trying to suffocate us, or
or freeze us, or just frustrated.
yeah, maybe.
You probably come out to see Ferris like with this big pile of null bones that he's finally brought in now that he's butchered enough of them, and he's trying to like arrange them into a throne, and he's like swearing in some language that you don't understand, but it's very clearly swearing. And after like a few minutes of this, he shouts, "Yarmir, do you know how to do this?"
Entrails and bind. You can make a throne.
Yeah, I lean in to William, and I'm like, "See, don't want to get between a dog and his bones."
Faris,
will
what
get dead.
are you doing here?
Grimes gave me the idea. He suggested I build them into a throne.
Sarcasm, Ferris. Sarcasm.
It's a bit morbid, don't you
You can't
think?
take it back now, Grimes.
It's a bit morbid, don't you think?
I'd call it triumphant.
Life's morbid enough as is. You really need to.
I guess I'll wander over.
I'm going
to the
back
throne
upstairs.
of
Give me a
birds.
shout if you need anything, Captain.
Thanks, Grimes. I wander over to the throne and I'll stand by Faris and look at it and say, "Do you know, I wouldn't usually condone this kind of thing, but you held our flank in the battle admirably, and I suppose if this is what brings you joy after a battle, then at least this time I won't take it away from you." And I pat you on the back and hobble.
Don't patronize me, William. Between the two of us, I'm the only one who was standing after that battle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You fought well. And I walk off. I wasn't trying to patronize him, but you know. And I think I'll sit back down where I was, and if my armor's there, I will start, like, I don't know, thinking about putting my armor back on. Like maybe I'll attach like my greaves
Right.
and some
I
parts.
think you might need to do some like upkeep to it and stuff. Like you know,
Yeah,
armor
yeah.
needs to be oiled and maintained. And Yarmir was not doing any of that for you.
Yeah, so I'll probably like maybe patch up the chain links that have been broken and sharpen my sword, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, sharpen that sword.
And just sit back down and rest.
Williams never loses his edge.
Yeah.
Ferris, I have a question for you. In the
Yeah?
recap, we had heard that you've gone a little bit feral. How accurate is that? What's going through your head with all of this eating? And you've definitely been getting more extreme in your behaviors.
I don't know if he's been getting more extreme so much as he got taken over by a moment of bloodlust in that fight, right? And originally the plan was to him just like start eating Manji as soon as he brought him back to the fort, but that didn't happen because like Sleet flew in, interrupted the whole process, and by the time he had left, the moment had kind of passed, and Ferris had kind of settled back down into his usual self.
Okay, so this isn't like a pattern.
It's not an
that's
escalating
happening.
thing. It's
Okay.
more that he got taken over by a moment of bloodlust in that fight.
Okay.
I think it was in the air.
The next day, the 18th, passes without incident either. The weather picks up and it's moderate, but there's no signs of sails or monsters.
So about the end of this day, we're out of firewood.
Oh, All right, I can go chop wood, or I probably would have a day earlier if you had let me know, but
Yeah.
maybe I don't catch on until now. Maybe this is the first time I've been downstairs in a couple days.
Yeah, like I don't think we've been doing the standard, like our captain, our leader has been out of
Yeah.
commission, so like I don't think we've been hunting and gathering and chopping.
Yeah,
wood,
no.
doing the, like basic day-to-day.
How many HP have we gained back, by the way? I've got.
You should have 10 back after now.
I have 12. I thought we did another 2 days after the
Yeah, I
first
have
4.
12 marked back.
After
Okay.
once you wake up in the morning, it'll be 12. Yes.
Okay, yeah, sure. I just want to make sure that we hadn't passed another day while I wasn't looking. Yeah. So I guess firewood. I guess Grimes can do that.
Yeah, I would have taken William's axe and done it if I had known we were running low, or I can just head out now.
There are trees nearby, and there are no monsters anywhere to be found, so you can easily chop as much firewood as you need.
Okay. So I'll do just a 1 HP day, I guess, then. Get us some firewood. Should I roll to see how much, or is it not relevant?
No, there's no threats of blizzards or anything, and you have all day, and there's no monsters to be found, so that's fine. The next day is Friday, and the weather picks up to... No, actually, it stays moderate. Winds are blowing.
That would be picking up, right? Because it was calm yesterday.
Yeah.
The winds are blowing, the air is chill. The tracks from the dragon are mostly gone by now, since all the winds have been knocking around and piling snow up. You're still cased in ice, except for the windows that you've cut out and the doors that you've cut out. And life here in Caledonia is slow. Very, very slow.
That's fine. we had a very big sudden burst of activity a few days ago. I'm okay with a little bit of slow after that.
Yeah.
I think that as Yarmir gets comfortable with everybody, they're more healthy. William's back on his feet. I think he's gonna just start going back out into the woods with Kat every day and like keep experimenting on his golem. I think I'm gonna keep trying like each day to add different spells into the mix and like see if I can inscribe them onto Kat and increase its functionality.
When you say going into the woods, though, you mean returning at night, though?
Yeah, probably. I gotta make sure that
periodically
William gets his
throughout the
health.
day, so we can still get our HP.
Yeah. Like I still got to make sure that William gets back to full HP. So I'll be back. Like maybe I'll start the day by healing you up, or maybe I'll come back and do it at night, and then, but like go out and experiment with Kat here. And yeah, like I'm adding like all the spells, like runes that I know, and seeing if I can to like increase some functionality. Like I'm trying specifically like bind, I think would be a good one to try to get on it to see if it can grab things, right? Actually like grab and hold them. I think jump and levitate and things to increase mobility. I'm experimenting, and I might even like depending on how many days I get to do this, I might get to experiment with like symbols on my body that I haven't learned yet, right? See if they have any effects. See if there might be more power, like some of them that I haven't been able to quite grasp yet. See if they have an effect.
What do you mean by see if they're going to have an effect?
Right. So like for example, like I know. Excuse me. Let me find my spreadsheet here. I know that enlarge is this constellation of runes that look like they're a tree growing up my spine. So if I wanted to make Cat bigger, I might like inscribe those runes similarly to the way I inscribe the second level spell every day, a hypnotic pattern every day to keep it running, right, to power the golem. And if that works, that's cool. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like I might go to something that I tried recently, like the light shining through the prism and splitting apart in that constellation. And even though I don't know exactly yet how that magic works, maybe if I inscribe those runes, it might have some power. It might alter the snowman in some way.
Okay. Sure. So why don't you give me a few that you want to try, like 2 per day that you want to try inscribing, or
first day, bind, and jump.
Okay. Let's check some. So inscribing the runes for bind and jump on cat don't seem to have much effect on it. The jump rune has a slight effect. The snowman will move and occasionally kind of like leap off the ground for a little bit, but the height is not significant for you. It does seem to be imbuing, but just weakly.
Okay.
Bind has nothing.
Very cool.
All right, so we can go on to the next day. It is Saturday, the 20th. It is also
That's another 2
moderate,
HP.
right? Moderate day.
How many days do I have to spend chopping wood for us to not have to worry about wood to be chopped?
I think it just needs to be chopped every day, right? Like
Every day?
someone needs to go out once a day and make sure we have.
We can alternate, Grimes. I'll do today, so you can rest today.
I think actually the way the HP shakes out, it's probably better for me to just do it.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
Like I think you guys have so much more HP, I'll recover to full.
Yeah, that works.
So okay. So that's 2 more. Wait, 1 more day.
Yeah, one more day. Brian, Yaromir, give me one more for today.
Okay, one more for today. I want to try. Excuse me. I want to try an enlarge. I want to see if I can make it like bigger and scarier.
Yeah, you inscribe the runes for enlarge on the snowman, on the snow woman, and at first it doesn't really seem to have any effect. And then as you're kind of going about trying to figure out what to do and pacing back and forth in the snow, you notice as Cat moves around, she's adding snow to her and adding snow to her, and she seems to be growing in size as she cruises around with your pacing. Overall, you're 5th level?
I am 5th level, yes.
All right, so she seems to grow about 20%, maybe a little bit more than 20% in size. So
Okay.
not a full enlarge, but a little bit bigger.
At that point, she's probably as bigger than William, yeah?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
William's a tall man, but this is a big-sized snowman. Yeah, probably
Yeah.
about the same size.
Awesome. Cool.
And just as you're getting ready to prep another rune to put in here, Ferris, you spot sails out to the east, kind of out where Yaromir's head is on the map.
Awesome. Well, it looks like it might be time to leave here, William.
What, you see his ship?
Yes, one's sailing in right now. I'm gonna go flag it down.
Give me a hand. I'd get you to pull me up.
William, it's been multiple days. I think you can walk on your own now.
I've got old bones, but fine. Get to my feet.
Yeah,
Grab
Ferris just kind of like
sword.
makes you walk on your own.
I walk to the outside of the ship and look out over to the ocean.
Sure. It does look like Zaz's ship is returning. It's the same one you've seen before.
Bye, Martha. Thank you. And I start packing the sled up.
Yeah, I guess we go back and start getting our things ready. Do you know where Yaromir is?
Yeah, he left this morning after bandaging my or changing my bandages.
Well, I suppose we'll just have to wait for him then.
Where's he? What's he been doing all day? These days?
I don't know. He leaves. We don't talk much.
Did I dream that he made a giant snowman?
No, he has a giant snowman. I gave it a face.
I think back, and then I remember that it was there before the battle. Oh yeah. That's a bit strange.
It is.
I shrug and go back to packing up the sled.
You can all head down once the sled is packed up to
Yep.
Saltport proper.
I think
And-
Ferris probably waits in the keep. Actually, no, he'll probably go down and then he'll like alternate back to the keep every once in a while to make sure Yaromir didn't like miss that there's a ship at the dock and go back to the keep going, where is
Yeah.
everybody?
The party makes
I
their way
mean,
down.
unless you blow your horn or something, like, I probably don't know.
Oh yeah, no, I mean like by tonight, right? We're not leaving right now. But
Okay.
like I want to make sure when you do come back you notice that there's a ship.
Yeah. You guys can make it down to Saltport. The ship once again kind of sits out in the water a little bit. The harbor here is still too dangerous for it to come up with all the sunken ships nearby and the ice flows and whatnot. They have a few skiffs that come out to meet you. They seem a little bit more prepared this time for your sled, which is awkward for them to carry, but there have been additions made on the skiff to better support the sleds.
All right, we've got all our wealth that we got from the brothel, right?
Yep.
With us,
They're
and we've
falling
got
down.
there's the rugs and the like fabrics on the wall with the paintings. Like we didn't say they were worth anything, but I think we're gonna bring them with us as well if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
all gets piled up on the ship, and there's Zaz standing on one of the skiffs as they arrive on the dock. He steps off and looks over the four of you.
Ah, Zaz. What a sight to behold.
Captain.
I could say
I
the
know.
same for you guys. Getting a bit of growth going on, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
What about you,
Ferris
Jaromir?
kind of like, scratches his completely clean-shaven face that never ever grows any sort of facial hair.
Jaromir? Ferris? Do you not like the beards?
Is Yarmir there?
Yeah, this is down in Saltport. Like, everyone's packing up to get on the ships.
Okay.
Okay, so like eventually I come riding in on Cat and we're all together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jaromir? Ferris?
No, I do not like beards. It interrupts my studies. And I like show off the tattoos all over my face and like my bald head. I'm like,
No,
Yarmir's growths are a little bit more otherworldly.
Zaz, how goes the war?
She produces 2 letters from her pocket and hands them over to you. Without another word.
Are we on the deck of the ship, or is this
No,
on
no,
the
this
dock?
is on the dock.
Okay.
I think I sneer openly at the letters. Right? Like if William is noticing, right? Like I'm looking at the letters. I just give like the nastiest look at the letters and just kind of like ride off with Cat trying to get it onto the skip.
I guess I'll roll a perception check to see if I notice, but I think I'm probably distracted.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, William sees everything.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at, as the letters get handed to me, I just happen to be looking over at Jaromir, and what, you sneer as I get the letters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pointed sniff.
And there's a confused moment before you walk off, and I set to opening the letters. All right.
Well, that's against up. Jaromir, we might need to find a way to protect this snowman of yours from the salty air.
From air.
Yes, salt. It melts snow.
I have not had problem with this before.
Perhaps we could bundle up some snow. Keep it protected, wrapped up. Any snow that it loses, we can replace.
I like your idea. Yes. Let us bundle up some snow.
Sure. And we I grab like a winter blanket and we get ready to like package up a bunch of snow that we can keep kind of like contained and sealed away from the
Very nice.
the air. Yeah.
Good thinking.
Grimes helps the crew load up the boats with our wealth.
Yeah.
Is Zaz's crew look the same as last time?
Oh, I need to make a writing check.
Give me a charisma check there, Grimes. How friendly have you been with the crew of Zaz's
Well,
ship?
there's one person in particular that I am trying to find. No,
So
so
you
maybe
don't
I don't
know
notice
if
if it's the same crew. But I'm looking
Yeah.
for my cousin, if you will.
Yeah, your cousin's on the ship.
Is he helping load, or is he on the ship somewhere?
He is on the ship somewhere. You'll notice him when you
So
get on.
okay, yeah. When we get on the ship, we'll have.
So while you're loading, Zaz comes over to you and goes, Grimes, seems a little frosty out here. What's going on with everyone?
Had a bit of a scuffle with the gnolls. Well, maybe scuffle's an understatement. Bloodbath. It was a close thing. And then the dragon came,
Excuse me?
and dragon.
Winged thingy. Flying. Scales?
Yes.
Fire
Yes.
breathing?
Ice.
Brings ice. That's okay. Yeah.
Psh.
Okay.
You don't believe
maybe
me?
we should, I've seen your records, Grimes.
I put my letters back and I look up to the conversation. You two talking about Sleet? It's true. It's true, Captain Zaz. I saw it with my own eyes. It almost ate me while I was taking a shit.
Chorus of laughter, and I think I think Zaz probably assumes it's a joke at this point.
Maybe, yeah. She kind of nods and heads off and gets in the skiffs. You guys all head up to the ship and make your way back to Fort Wick.
Okay.
So as we're unloading the skiffs onto the ship, I will spot I think this is where I'll spot my cousin, we'll call him. I don't know if we gave him a name.
I don't think we've named this person yet.
But as I'm loading, I'll like take one of the boxes that I'm loading and like set it down next to him, make it look like I'm busy. And this box happens to be the case of wine. And I'm like, got a case of 1500-year-old Caledonian wine.
Oh wow!
For the family, and I give it a tap.
He goes and kind of just sits down on it. I like
Tastes like vinegar, but maybe you can find maybe we can find a collector who's willing to pay top dollar for such a rare treat.
I'm sure mother and father would be very happy over this. Well done.
Any interest in the giant hair? Blank stare. Apparently not.
Blank stare.
Who are you
no
talking to here? Just one of the guys on the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't see this, so it's fine.
So I think this is during the process of unloading. I mean, maybe you glance over and you see Grimes like talking with one of the sailors as we're unloading, but I don't think it's any.
Have I seen this guy before? Like, it's feasible that Grimes has just got to know him.
Yeah, it's maybe
Yeah.
one of the sailors.
It's
I don't know
one
how
of-
much you pay attention to these folks.
It's one of Zaz's crew, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
you
some
guys-
point, I'd like to speak to Zaz once we're all on the ship, and I can
Sure.
take a moment when we're alone.
The ship sets sail northward for Fort Wick.
And I go and knock on the captain's quarters. Maybe the second night that we're there.
All right. It is evening. The
Okay,
ship
so-
is on its way, and it's just the two of you in her quarters, which are nice and toasty. She's got like a little Franklin stove in there. It's all warm. You're very uncomfortable if you're wearing your furs and all of your armor and everything. She's down to just her regular walking about clothes that you'd have in Drekis.
Yeah, I don't think
waves
I've
you
got
on.
my furs on and stuff like that. I take a seat. Is there a second chair to sit on, or?
No, there's one
Nice.
chair for her, and everyone else has to stand. There's a bed and like a chest and the desk that she's working on, but no, proper sitting.
Sit on the
surfaces.
bed.
Yeah. So I go in. Is there a bottle of liquor or something that she's drinking?
Yep. Of course. She's
I
a
pick
sea
it up
captain.
and say, "May I?"
He gives you a nod and
Let's pour
slides
my-
a glass forward to you.
I pour myself a glass and take a sip and sit down on the bed or on the chest, maybe.
Okay.
And I pull out the letters that she gave me, and I say, "This letter says some interesting things about Eridon.
I haven't read it.
Demons from hell.
That's what they say.
Whoops.
What? Have you heard more than that?"
Some of them are tall, upwards of 9 feet, breathing fire and bringing the very ground into ruin. Others are small, latching onto people and turning to stone.
Perhaps the Eridonians did something to awake the anger of the gods, not unlike what was done, presumably, here many thousands of years ago.
Surely hope Eridon doesn't become covered in frost. I am
Well-
not a big fan of this cold weather.
Do we have any knowledge of why this has happened? Because, I mean, I'm just a captain, but maybe it's not so wise to go poking our nose in places where the gods are sending demons.
I'll bring your words to Princess Sella myself. We'll have a nice sit down and say this whole war should be called off.
Look, there's no need to be... I just want someone to talk to about it.
Well-
This isn't always a competition, Zaz. We're on the same side now.
I'm here to listen if you need to speak.
Yeah, well... If you see any of these things with your own eyes, I sure would appreciate a more detailed description.
I would give it to you happily, but I am staying as far away from Eridon as possible. They've got me running supplies around Drekis and down to you guys.
You weren't involved taking these people to Whiteshore.
Oh, no. Not involved in any of that nonsense. No, thank you very much.
Fair enough. I had a plan for when we return. It might be a while as I'm quite wounded and I need to recover. But rather than up until now, we've only really searched the east side of the land. Rather than spend, I know times are dire and we need money as quickly as possible, so I'm not sure I can afford the months it would take to trek across the west. But I thought perhaps you could ferry us down the west coast, and if we were to find a town or something like that, you could drop us off there. What do you think? And if there's nothing on the coast, then we just head back. We go like a few days, like this far down, if there's any towns.
She picks up a notebook and starts flipping through it a little bit, finding the page she's looking for, and runs her finger down it, looking at various notes. Says, I can spare 5 days for transportation.
When?
We'll get to Fort Wick, and then I've got 5 days of leeway time right away.
I think I'll be too injured. Could you arrange another ship in a couple of weeks?
Sure. Give me an exact
Okay.
date, and I'll get them here as close to that as possible.
All right. I don't suppose you've been that side of the island at all.
Nope.
All right. Well,
I don't think anyone ever has. Not at least in 1,500 years.
let me think on it for a day or two, and when we get back to Fort Wick, I'll give you a date.
Sure. She takes the glass from your hand and takes a sip of the whiskey, or whatever it is, and you notice that there's only the one tumbler around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How old is she, Zaz?
Zaz is 37.
Okay.
Married man.
Yeah.
I think maybe Grimes catches you as you're leaving Zaz's private quarters
She has some
with a
things
smug
that she,
look on your face and whiskey on your breath.
She's got a few things to say left to William, so she
Okay,
kicks her
never mind
feet up on the table and just begins to ask you about what's been happening here. That you've been traveling back and forth, and she's been ferrying you for 8 months now, and doesn't really know what's been going on, and she wants to hear what has been happening.
There's once you get past this mountain range that maybe we passed this morning or something. Yeah, I say. It's mostly just gnolls and kobolds up to the north, but once we get past that mountain range, the gnolls down here are a bit more well organized and larger. Their pack was being run by a spellcaster. I think he was like a cleric, maybe of Velthara, I believe. So there's those. Yeah. So there's those gnolls, but there really is a dragon. It seems to live in the central mountain range, further to the south.
It's a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, well, it seems to have taken an interest in us now that we've killed its servants. The gnolls attacked us en masse a week or so ago. It was a close one, but I guess we pulled through. But I think the dragon, its name's Sleet, has its sights on us now. It surrounded us in the keep for a day or so, I think, while I was unconscious. We might need to the next time we come down this side, we might need to put an end to it, because I'm worried that if it attacks the ship, that we could all be lost. So I don't think it's safe to leave it to its own devices anymore.
So what are you going to do about it?
Well, that's a tough question. I don't suppose you've had any experience fighting dragons. Have to kind of fight it. If we fight it out in the open, there's nothing stopping it just flying around.
I've had my fair share of monsters, but nothing with wings.
Yeah, so about the only thing I can think of is to go to its lair and fight it where it's indoors at least. But it's not an ideal scenario, as clearly its lair will be...
Captain Kel William Marshall the Dragon Slayer. I'm sure your wife back home would be proud.
My wife's already proud, but slaying a dragon would certainly be an achievement. Maybe it would. Maybe it'd net me a promotion. Who knows?
How is she, by the way?
My wife. Well, our accommodations had to be moved because I don't know how much you know, but I was given a small village to reside as lord over just before I was sent on this expedition, so we left our manor in the city.
That's a bit of a slap in the face, isn't it?
What do you mean, being sent?
Here's some
sent out to
land. Here's your new keep. Here's a village for you to rule. By the way, we're gonna send you to this frozen, barren wasteland where you have nothing to do.
Well, my father-in-law's a wise man, and he saw fit to put me in charge of this expedition.
Who's in charge of your keep while you're away?
I stare blankly for a second. I say, "Well, he is.
Oh, I see.
He's a successful merchant. I'm sure he'll be doing a better job managing it than I ever would."
Probably true.
But
very convenient that your father-in-law is now a lord of land while you're off here fighting dragons.
I give it some thought and say, I suppose that's one way to look at it. But he's always been. I stop and think, and well, he's very politically minded. So, but I think he loves me like a son. He wouldn't betray me like that. I don't think. I haven't heard from he says my wife's doing well, so I think things are going. Yeah, I take a drink of the whiskey and say, well, I'm gonna see what the rest of my party are up to. It's been good talking to you, and I awkwardly leave the room.
If you need someone to listen, I'm here. And I think that's probably when you leave, and Grimes is coming up from one deck to another, and
instead of a smug look, he has this sad and beaten look on his face.
Yeah, Grimes.
You smell like whiskey. I thought you were a married man.
Yeah, no. I was just talking to her about the war effort. You know, have you got a moment, Grimes?
I've got nowhere to be.
Take a walk with me. I say, so my
I guess go lean against the bow of the ship or something like that.
Do you have any friends back in Solwick?
Well, I'm from the capital, but some distant relations. Why do you ask?
Well, I've just been thinking about some things, and I could do with having an independent report as to how my wife and family are getting on. You could help me with something like that. I wouldn't really want to go through the official channels.
Grimes has a bit of a shocked look. Sure, yeah, I could ask a friend to check in on them, or I mean, they're well-to-do about town, right? Perhaps even. Yeah,
they should be.
The rumors about town will be all.
Well, we've recently moved out of Solwick into. I don't think I've got a name for the village, Neal, but I give the name of the village. I was just granted this village before we head out on the expedition, although I haven't had a chance to visit myself. But they should be there, I think, in the keep or the manor or whatever.
Yeah, Solwick isn't the port city, right? Solwick is inland from Bon, whatever. Bon Dundasir. Okay.
I'd appreciate it, Grimes, if you could get someone to go and have a look for me.
Yeah, that comment about your married life, William. I didn't mean to start any shit.
Oh no, it's fine.
Is there anything? I'll take care of it.
I think it's fine. I'd say. Yeah, let me know.
Give you a hesitant pat on the shoulder and sort of nod, and I'll walk away.
Yeah.
And at some point during the voyage, I will actually go back to that same cuz. And yeah, do we want to give him a name, or is he we can just call him Yo Cuz?
Let's give this guy a name.
He's cousin Vinny.
Vinny it is. I was gonna go with Franklin, but this will do fine.
I like Vinny better.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go. I can even wait a day or hours or whenever I can catch him alone, so we can have a discreet conversation.
Mhm.
Yo, Vinny, I got another favor to ask you.
Of course.
I need to get a eyes and ears job out in Solwick. You think you got connections there, or think we got connections there?
Of course. I know a scout or two. We can take a look around. Anything in particular you're looking for?
Oh, I guess you can never have too many rumors, but it's the captain. He's
Zaz?
No, my captain, William. Seems like he's worried about his wife running around on him.
Lord Marshall.
If you-
I see.
I nod. If you could find out what's the happy hap with the Mrs. Marshall, maybe if there's another swordsman poking his nose around the new keep. I don't know. It put his mind at ease and do me a solid. I'm sure you can find some cut of that wine shipment to pay the appropriate fees.
Gives a nod. Family is happy to have each other's back, you know? Cousins always help each other out. You've done well by me, and I'll do well by you.
I'm sure that is not what William had in mind, but and as I'm walking away, it goes without saying that this ought to be discreet, right?
He gives you a slight nod without much of an...
A knight's honor and all that.
Yes. A knight's honor.
I chuckle as I walk away.
He laughs at it too.
Grimes' ability to mistranslate comment to comment is my favorite.
Well, to be fair, that was all in Thieves' Cant, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys arrive back at Fort Wick a day later or so.
Okay, so what's the date today?
It is the 22nd of May.
And we had 2 days of healing on the boat, right?
Yes.
So I need approximately 18 more days. So I think...
Jesus.
Holy shit! How much HP do you have?
He has 46.
Yeah,
Oh my
46.
god!
So
How
I
much
think
do
we
we
need
gain on the boat?
4. So I think we need 3 weeks, plus or minus a couple of days.
Damn, I'm at full health already. What?
Yeah, I'm getting close. Can we head down the west coast, not at full? Like what?
I mean, I guess we can. What do we
We're
say?
probably just gonna run into gnolls and kobolds, and
What do we
Harris
say?
and I can take them while you hopefully
Well,
don't.
Forest,
I am at
Forest isn't
22.
full. Why do we
No, I'm
say
at
22
22
weeks? 'Cause-
Like in character, Yarmir is just gonna flat tell William, "I will be needing 2 months."
2 months. What? I
Okay.
want to ask.
That
you
actually
what
is good timing because that's when Zaz is going to return.
Can
You know,
we
what do you
not-
need?
Either way, should we go to break right now and sort a little bit of this out
Sure.
off screen? Yeah.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll figure out what we're going to do on the other side. See you there.